Please welcome the President of the Katy ISD Board of Trustees, Mr. Victor Perez.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for attending the 2023 State of the District. Let's hear for the Maid Creek Naval Junior ROTC, whose impressive display of the colors has set the tone for today's proceedings. Equally deserving of recognition is the exceptional rendition of the national anthem by the talented students of the Jordan High School Warrior Choir. These students exemplify the reason we are here today, to continuously cultivate excellence and grow learners into leaders. Before we proceed with this morning's address, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the elected officials and special guests in the audience. Katy ISD is grateful for the support of the cities of Katy, Fulshear, and Brookshire. To all the elected officials who serve our community and district, please stand when your name is read by the announcer, and I ask our audience to please hold your applause until all elected officials are recognized.
From the office of State Senator Joan Huffman, Jennifer Nessick. District 85 Representative Stan Kitzman and Chief of Staff Nathaniel Jesdale. From the office of District 135 Representative John Rosenthal, Miss Karina Gonzalez. From the office of District 133 Representative Mano de Ayala, Deanna Harrington. From the office of Leslie Briones, Harris County Commissioner, Precinct 4, Maida Guillen. From the city of Katy, Mayor Dusty Thiele. From the city of Fulshear, Mayor Aaron Groff. From the city of Katy, Mayor Pro Tem Chris Harris. City Administrator Byron Hebert. And council members Janet Court, Gina Hicks, and Dan Smith. Chief of Police, Noe Diaz. And Fire Chief, Kenneth Parker. And from the city of Brookshire, Mayor Pro Tem, Jeremiah Hill.
We appreciate the attendance and support of all elected officials who were able to join us today. One of these leaders, Mayor Dusty Thiele, has provided us with a video message celebrating the long-standing partnership between Katy ISD and the city of Katy.
Good morning. My name is Dusty Thiele, Mayor of the city of Katy. Katy is a community rich in its core values, family, community, and service. Values our school district also exemplifies in the foundation of the Katy Independent School District. Families move to our city not only for the roots and traditions that are embedded within our community, but for our renowned school district. My own children are educated here, and their success as adults is due largely in part to the unparalleled people, teaching, and learning you'll find across Katy ISD classrooms. As families, residents, and servants of this thriving and growing city, we have also borne witness to Katy ISD's continual growth. The city of Katy is home to the district's first 3 schools, Katy Elementary, Katy Junior High, and Katy High School. And as such, we consider ourselves the heartbeat of Katy ISD. As a city, we are proud to be a partner with the district as new schools and student support facilities are added within our city limits to accommodate growth, including Fowlden Elementary. That is right on the northern edge of our city. I will tell you on a personal level, and as mayor of this beautiful city, that when we prioritize the safety of our children, enhancing our schools and neighborhoods, and preparing future leaders, we're ensuring the prosperity of our community in generations to come. I hope every citizen in our community will join us in supporting our schools and the bright future they represent for our students.
Thank you, Mayor Thiele, for that message. We will hear from Mayor Aaron Groff later in the program. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to thank our audience once again for your support and service to our community and Katy ISD. Thank you.
For over a century, Katy ISD has been lighting the way as a leader in educational excellence.
After one of the deadliest storms in history,
We built back even stronger.
with our school community growing and excelling ever since.
Today, Katy ISD covers over 181 square miles.
From the Eastern Energy Corridor
to the Western Frontier, from the north to the south.
We are a proud community of excellence.
A top-rated employer.
An A-rated school district.
And a leader in financial integrity.
Attracting families and businesses.
Through world-class and educational experiences.
Across our classroom.
Fields. Music halls. And theaters.
Our expert teachers spark a love for learning.
And cutting-edge sciences.
Agriculture.
Technology.
And practical skills.
Preparing and inspiring each student.
To create the future.
And now, please welcome Katy ISD Superintendent, Dr. Ken Gregorski.
Thank you all for being here, and all of you who are with us today on the live stream and who are joining us to welcome our annual State of the District. Mr. Perez has already recognized some of our special guests in the audience, but before we go any further into today's program, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our Katy ISD Board of Trustees. Again, Board President Victor Perez, Vice President Amy Teamy, Secretary Dawn Champagne, and board members Lance Redmond and Mary Ellen Cuzella. Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate the tremendous time and support our trustees provide voluntarily to ensure our district and schools are positioned to sustain our reputation for excellence. We also have in the house today many of our legacies in our audience, and those are our campus namesakes. These remarkable individuals continuously demonstrate outstanding service and leadership across our schools and community. If you are a namesake, please stand and be recognized. We extend our heartfelt appreciation for your ongoing support of Katy ISD campuses, students, and families. We also have a number of our district volunteers with us this morning. Katy ISD volunteers have an immeasurable impact on our schools, not just from the quantity of hours they give to our students and staff each year, but also for the quality of time and talent they bring to our classrooms. Their contributions, along with that of our families, community, staff, faith-based organizations, and local leaders, are essential to our district's continued success. Thank you for giving your time and talents in helping to create unparalleled learning experiences for our more than 95,000 students. Our school community support and advocacy for students and staff increases learning opportunities throughout Katy ISD. This strengthens our teachers' and staff's ability to provide unparalleled instruction in the thousands of classrooms they serve. This morning, you'll hear me touch on a few main points and priorities that have served as a guide for our district and continue to move us forward through this school year. They include continuing to provide a world-class education to our 95,000 students, despite the challenges we are seeing right now at the legislative level with securing adequate funding for public schools. We're going to continue our renewed focus on early literacy, Teacher and staff retention will continue to be an emphasis, and we'll always be paying attention to keeping up with growth, completing Bond 2021 projects, and looking ahead with Bond 2023. And finally, with our strategic planning, we look forward to finishing out the current 2-year plan and moving ahead with the development of our next plan. You'll hear more about these priorities in our time together this morning. Though first, I want to speak to you what you see right above me. It's our district's theme logo for the 2023-2024 school year. Every year, our staff identifies a district-wide theme that expresses the essence of what we aim to achieve as a school district. This year's theme, Inspiring Excellence, Learners into Leaders, speaks to the awesome responsibility our educators take on every day to deliver knowledge, skills, and mentorship to the thousands upon thousands of students throughout our schools who will be the leaders of tomorrow. Through academics, extracurricular experiences, and community service, emerging leaders across our classrooms are being driven by the excellence their teachers, principals, support staff, or even campus namesakes and volunteers have sparked in them. As you saw in the opening video, Katy ISD has upheld a proud tradition of excellence for over 100 years. Even as we continue to grow as a district, our status as the leader in educational excellence has been unwavering, built upon a long-standing foundation of community support, an exceptional staff of dedicated professionals, and engaged students and families. It is no wonder that our students' performance on state measures consistently outpaced the state. The 2022-2023 STAR EOC scores, for example, show Katy ISD students performing 23 points above the state at the meets level in algebra, 21 points above the state in English 1, 17 points above the state in English 2, 23 points above the state in biology, and 16 points above the state in U.S. history. Last year, the state began making significant changes to the A through F accountability system, which now includes online testing requirements for grades 3 through 12. Online testing requirements were implemented district-wide this past spring. The state's accountability refresh, as they call it, also delayed the release of STAR scores for our 3rd through 8th grade test takers. In fact, our campus leaders and teachers were unable to see those results from the previous school year until after the start of this fall semester. On top of delaying scores, the TEA also further delayed the release of district and campus ratings for at least another month. TEA is now being legally challenged on those proposed changes they made to the accountability system mid-year. And here is what those proposed changes are all about. The state wants to update cut scores and accountability benchmarks as required by law. That's not the problem. All educators support continuous improvement. The problem is that TEA wanted to change the accountability benchmarks after the school year had already begun and based on students who had already moved through the school system. School districts need to know where the goalposts are so we can make adequate preparations and adjustments for our staff and students to meet those expectations. If the state cannot tell us what the expectation is up front, how can we meet it? Now, with that said, Katy ISD STAR outcomes continue to reflect growth among our students, and that's regardless of this mess with the TEA. Here in Katy, we're going to teach reading, math, and science and focus on rigorous curriculum standards. We're going to help kids grow. Despite the state's lag in providing the 2023 STAR results, I am delighted to share that our 3rd through 8th grade students performed 18 points above the state at the meets level in reading language arts, 18 points above the state in math, 16 points above the state in science, and 8 points above the state in social studies. These trends illustrate how our students are continuing their academic recovery coming out of the pandemic and are reflective of the intensive academic supports delivered daily by our teachers to make this happen. The academic success of our students is due in no small part to the world-class teachers, administrators, and support staff across our district, which is why you'll hear me talk more in a few minutes about how attracting, supporting, and retaining high-quality staff members is a key priority within our district-wide strategic plan. Our strategic planning process began 6 years ago with the guidance of our entire school community. Many of you have participated in this process as district and community leaders, parents, and volunteers. The collective efforts of our strategic planning teams led to the creation of the 8 goals that drive our district's efforts towards continuous student improvement and growth. That's personalized learning for our students and staff, enhanced operational systems, meaningful student assessments, robust digital infrastructure across our campuses, teacher recruitment and retention, and advocacy work around school finance, strategic partnerships, and supports for student and staff well-being. A major outcome of our 2023 strategic plan is our renewed focus on early literacy that led to the development of our district's literacy framework that is aligned with the TEKS and the science of reading. The framework outlines the district and community's vision for literacy, curriculum, and instruction, as well as introduces new materials at the elementary level, which our campuses began implementing this fall. Katy ISD's elementary reading curriculum emphasizes explicit, systematic, and sequential teaching of letter-sound relationships, syllable patterns, vocabulary, and text structure. And our teachers' work with these young readers highlights the importance of decoding skills over memorization, fostering utilization of those skills to break down the meaning behind words. Here you can see some of that happening.
Repeat after me.
Remember the word announce that was kind of tricky? We're going to practice saying that word again. Go ahead and practice saying that word.
Announced.
Announced.
Nice work.
Great job.
It's encouraging to see our students leveraging technology to personalize their learning. This is exactly what the one-to-one initiative you'll hear me talk about in a few minutes would do. This is what Katy ISD is all about. And protecting students' ability to learn and grow is of utmost importance for our school district. Nearly every one of our strategic plan goals is designed to safeguard the educational system we have built here in Katy. If you didn't already know, Katy ISD's safety protocols meet and exceed all of the TEA and the Texas School Safety Center's safety recommendations. Each of our campuses conduct mandatory safety drills and training, execute campus emergency operations plans, and perform regular safety and security audits. One element of the safety audit is the intruder access assessment, and our campuses have earned strong marks on these assessments. Last school year, out of the 53 campuses visited by state auditors, none had been found to be intruder accessible upon initial inspection. This is truly remarkable in a district of our size. You may also be aware that during the 2023 legislative session, lawmakers passed House Bill 3, which calls for armed security officers to be employed and visible across all schools in Texas. Prior to this legislative call to action, our district already had a model in place in which a minimum of 1 police officer was assigned at every secondary school, and roving police officers patrolled elementary campuses. Following the passage of HB 3, our police department and administration worked alongside our Board of Trustees to develop and roll out a plan to ensure that all campuses could fully comply with the new law. Like many school mandates, the bill came with inadequate funds to hire additional security personnel. Though with the board's support and a resolution they passed this August, our district has hired, trained, and staffed state-certified Level 3 armed security officers to fulfill this need. To date, 49 Level 3 security officers have completed state certification requirements and are currently assigned to Katy ISD schools. This is in addition to the 39 police officers assigned to Katy ISD campuses and 15 police officers who are assigned to patrol. The fact is, it truly takes all of us working together throughout the entire year to maintain the safety and security of our schools. This past June, Katy ISD partnered with Fort Bend County Homeland Security and Emergency Management, local EMS and fire, and law enforcement agencies to conduct a full-scale active shooter exercise at Tompkins High School. The exercise provided our district and partner agencies with a hands-on training experience and the opportunity to activate and execute procedures and protocols for emergency situations, including potential active school violence. The teams tested emergency response plans across multiple agencies, as well as protocols and coordination efforts. The exercise was the result of a full year of planning, and our work together has been far-reaching. By building partnerships around emergency response protocols and forging close, collaborative, interagency relationships, our district and local responders are creating safer schools and communities for all Katy children and residents. I'm going to circle back to the people who we're protecting, our children, as well as those who serve them. Our teachers are the heart of our classrooms, and protecting them physically, protecting their well-being, and their future in this profession is a high priority for our board and administration. Katy ISD brings in the best of the best when it comes to our educators, and attracting and retaining our educators is something we heavily invest in through professional supports, safe classrooms, and importantly, competitive pay. As an outcome of our strategic goals and objectives, Katy ISD has prioritized establishing a compensation plan that exceeds the market median for classroom teachers. Our Human Resources Department has conducted in-depth research on teacher salaries across the state and surrounding region to ensure our employee salaries are competitive. And just this past summer, our Board of Trustees approved a 3% raise for teachers and staff for this school year. And you should know that this was made possible through the adoption of a deficit budget, something that we realize is not a sustainable practice nor long-term solution, but ensuring our staff is competitively compensated is that important. The fact is, it's up to our state legislature to rectify the funding issues that are plaguing Texas school districts, which means raising the basic allotment per student and funding teachers' raises to combat inflationary pressures we've seen over the past few years. In the meantime, our board and administration are routinely reviewing budgets and making the necessary adjustments so that the district can continue to be in the position to provide our exceptional staff competitive pay now and well into the future. And I'll also say this, becoming an effective teacher stretches beyond just adequate compensation. It's also about the respect and the professional supports our educators receive throughout their career in Katy. I'm talking about the type of support that can start at the very beginning of one's career. Last school year, our Human Resources team created our soon-to-launch internal Alternative Certification Program, or ACP, that is designed to grow our own teachers. This program, which we anticipate TEA approving this school year, will provide a non-traditional pathway for degreed professionals to transition into Katy ISD teaching positions. We firmly believe that a professional who comes to Katy ISD to learn our teaching practices among our educators, participate in our professional development with access to our support systems, and who implements our curriculum programs will be a successful educator in our schools. In addition to growing our own teachers, our district is also proactive in developing campus leaders through the Katy Leadership Pipeline, which serves as a training ground for aspiring assistant principals and principals. This comprehensive approach to leadership development includes resources, professional development and growth, and training opportunities for these administrators. These two initiatives to recruit, train, and retain the very best in the field reflect our district's ongoing commitment to developing skilled educators for our classrooms and students. Finally, our strategic plan also addresses the strengthening and development of strategic partnerships that capitalize on the talents, skills, and resources within our community. You heard about our partnerships with local responders. Now let me tell you about our partnerships with our parents, grandparents, business owners, and other community members. Our Partners in Education program exists to bring volunteers into Katy ISD classrooms through standout programs that create and sustain meaningful school community relationships. In Katy ISD, we are blessed with a community of volunteers who recognize what they have to offer to our children and teachers. Already this year, PI has registered over 31,000 volunteers who support such programs as Keys Mentors, Volunteers in Public Schools, and Promise to Read. The Katy ISD Education Foundation, which provides resources to enrich teaching, inspire learning, and enhance opportunities for students in Katy, has raised over $3 million in 11 years and awarded $415,000 in Inspiring Imagination grants just this last school year. Here you can see a grant-funded project in action.
My name is Marta Luna Loya, and the name of my grant is Constructing Language Through Play. The grant's innovative because the students learn language in a place-based structure. This grant has improved my lessons by making a positive impact on the quality of my teaching and the student learning. The students have had the opportunity to experience success along with the team. They have been more motivated to learn and be an active participant in their language learning process. Where you see playing, I see learning.
Our students have to qualify for pre-K. So that means a need has already been identified. We want to provide as many opportunities and experiences for these students so they can grow and learn.
Children learn based on what they experience. And now, thanks to this grant, we have the resources to take the book that we just read or the discussion that we just had into action and have that hands-on experience that will encourage for them to formulate questions, therefore never stop learning.
Much of the funding that comes into the foundation is from current and former employee, namesake, community member, and local business contributions. And let me say something about our business community. Our local business community is vital to the ongoing success of the innovative programs and partnerships available to our students inside and outside the classrooms. To share some insights about this connection, we welcome the following video message from the President and CEO of the Katy Area Chamber of Commerce, Matthew Ferraro, and the President and CEO of the Katy Area Economic Development Council, Angie Thomason.
Good day to everyone in the Katy community. I'm Matthew Ferraro, President and CEO of the Katy Area Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Angie Thomason, President and CEO of the Katy Area Economic Development Council. It's a pleasure to join you all this fall as we embark upon another chapter of progress and growth in Katy.
Last year at this event, we talked about the symbiotic relationship between Katy ISD's success and our thriving local businesses. Today, we will discuss a crucial step forward aligning with this year's theme, inspiring excellence, learners into leaders.
This theme encapsulates what Katy ISD represents: learners evolving into leaders with the guidance and support of our exceptional educators and community. So many folks move to the Katy area because of the district's award-winning school system and the opportunities available to their children.
And our rapid growth has not slowed down. With growth comes thousands of families and kids. The Katy ISD board recently called for a November bond election, an investment not only in our schools and students, but the prosperity of our local economy.
Remember, our community's reputation for excellence attracts premier businesses that are able to draw upon top talent. And our state-of-the-art schools are not only attracting businesses, they are also producing our future workforce. Katy ISD graduates embody the skills and work ethics our employers seek.
As we unite around the theme of inspiring excellence, learners into leaders, let's consider how education uplifts students, families, and our business community.
Thank you, Katy, for your unwavering support for making this community and district what it is today.
As suggested by these economic leaders, the success of Katy ISD is a driving factor of our area's rapid growth. When Katy's business base expands, we experience an influx of families and students. Within the next 3 years alone, more than 100,000 pre-K through 12th grade students are expected to call Katy ISD home. In fact, student enrollment has grown by at least 2,000 new students annually. As a result, many campuses have reached their capacity, while others are heavily dependent on portables to manage growth. As our student population continues to grow, there is a mounting and urgent need to construct new schools to provide enrollment relief at existing campuses, as well as to upgrade technology, security, and learning spaces across many of our aging facilities. Katy ISD is on a 3 to 4 year bond cycle, which has enabled our district to keep up with fast growth and maintain the quality and safety of our facilities. The bond package that our community passed in 2021 provided funds to open 3 new elementary schools, 1 new junior high, and 1 new high school. This year, we opened Fowden and Youngblood Elementary Schools as a result of that bond. Youngblood Elementary will be part of a new complex that will include high school number 10, junior high number 18, which are currently under construction and will provide enrollment balance and relief to Katy High School, Peyto High School, Haskett Junior High, and Stockdick Junior High. However, the enrollment relief these schools provide will still not be enough to meet the need as suggested by our demographers' growth projections. Last school year, the Katy ISD Board of Trustees called for the formation of a Community Bond Advisory Committee. And this committee of over 140 parents, business leaders, local professionals, retirees, teachers, and even students reviewed the current and future needs of our more than 100 campuses and facilities. The committee was charged with reviewing demographic projections, budgets, long-range facility plans, life cycle replacement cycles, and short-term technology and safety plans. After spending a combined 1,700 hours reviewing projects and data, the committee recommended bond projects that they determined to be critical to moving this district forward. This past July, trustees called for a November bond election based upon that committee's recommendation. I referenced this district's 3-year bond cycle that was established by our community decades back. Now take a look at this slide above me. In Bond 2021, we see new schools, campus renovations, safety and security, and technology improvements. In 2023, what do we see? That's right, new schools, campus renovations, safety and security, and technology improvements. If you look back at the past 3 bonds, the list is much the same. Continuous and rapid growth drives the need for new schools. Just like our homes require regular maintenance, schools also have major upkeep needs such as roofs, HVAC systems, and flooring. These are large-scale replacement costs that an annual general operating fund just can't support. And with over 100 campuses and facilities on a rotating schedule, upkeep is a long-term commitment. That's why communities establish bond programs for their schools. For the 2023 bond, Proposition A would finance 4 schools to provide additional enrollment capacity up north. The northwest quadrant of our school district is growing exponentially. The newly opened Fowden Elementary is already at capacity in its first year. Proposition A will address the fast growth and prevent overcrowding of campuses in that area of the district by providing 3 elementary schools and 1 junior high. It is important to note that while new facilities are needed in the Northwest, this bond also calls for renovations at aging campuses. Campuses that would see additions or renovations as a result of the passage of the Bond 2023 include Bear Creek, Cimarron, Hayes, Maid Creek, McRoberts, Nottingham Country, Pattison, and Sundown Elementary Schools, as well as secondary schools, Beck and Katy Junior Highs, Katy High School, Miller Career and Technology Center, and the Shaw STEAM Center. Proposition A also includes safety and security measures such as fencing improvements, entryway security, access control systems, intruder alarms, and security camera upgrades. While Proposition A addresses district infrastructure, Proposition B would provide for classroom and campus technology that makes learning accessible for all students, including a 1-to-1 student device ratio for grades 3 through 12. The proposition also addresses campus technology retrofits where needed, cybersecurity infrastructure, server maintenance, and maintenance and retrofits for our copiers, printers, and phones. Finally, Proposition C and D would provide the funding for necessary repairs and ADA compliance measures at athletics facilities, including our existing high school natatoriums and the 42-year-old road stadium. Here you can see the locations of all proposed bond projects. Every campus will see some improvement that impacts student safety and technology upgrades, such as security fencing, security camera upgrades, and fire alarm and PA system replacements. The 4 bond propositions total $840.6 million and represent a 0 tax rate increase. You should also know that Katy ISD property taxes will actually decrease this coming year due to the property tax relief bill. The school tax rate for Katy ISD will decrease by 18.5 cents. And the state is also proposing an increase in the homestead exemption from $40,000 to $100,000, which would further lower homeowners' tax bills. This bond is an important topic, not just for Katy ISD, but for the communities that comprise the district. To share his perspective on the partnership between Katy ISD and the city of Fulshear via video message, here is Mayor Aaron Groff.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Aaron Groff, Mayor of the City of Fulshear. The bond between Fulshear and Katy ISD runs deep. It's an integral part of our community, and we take great pride in our partnership. Our city's growth and economic success are closely tied to the accomplishments of Katy ISD. Fulshear is the fastest growing small town in America, and the success of our school district is among the reasons people move to Fulshear. Young learners blossom into leaders in Katy ISD. In fact, my own daughter, a Katy grad and junior at the University of Oklahoma, aspires to one day become a superintendent. And let's not forget Jalen Melrose, the starting quarterback over at the University of Alabama. There are countless success stories like these. Our partnership is about economic prosperity as well. Katy ISD is one of the largest employers in our region. As our population grows, so do businesses, restaurants, and services, making it an appealing place for professionals to call home. As our city and school districts evolve, we have the 2023 bond on the horizon. If approved by voters, it will alleviate overcrowding in our schools, much like the 2017 bond did for Tompkins High School when Jordan High School opened its doors in the city of Fulshear. Now it's our turn to support our Northwest neighbors. Katy ISD serves as a beacon of inspiration for our community, instilling pride and encouraging excellence. Together, let's continue supporting our district for a brighter future.
Well, if you caught that, Mayor Groff said one of his 2 children wants to be a school superintendent. I think I might have some words with their family. But now I'm going to shift over to public school finance and the legislative special session that is taking place right now as I speak. Earlier this month, Governor Abbott released his agenda for the session with a sole focus on vouchers, border security, public safety, and banning COVID-19 mandates for private employers. Absent from that agenda was public education funding and the teacher salaries that support the 5.9 million public education students across our state. The agenda for the special session is clear. Providing school choice is the main priority. Adequately funding public education is not. So I want to share some facts about public school finance to consider. The Texas school finance system does not increase funding when inflation rises, and never has. Katy ISD is dealing with massive increases in utility costs, fuel, insurance, cafeteria food, construction costs, and other operational expenses. Katy's tax base is growing, but contrary to common belief, Katy ISD schools do not see a single dollar to our general fund from the additional tax revenue generated by home and business owners. The basic allotment that funds every public school child in Texas has remained stagnant since 2019. In the 88th Texas Legislature regular session, our elected officials allocated $4 billion in new funding for public education. Yet those dollars remain unspent in state coffers. Our lawmakers have the opportunity right now to meet their promise to fully fund public education and put an end to using our children, our teachers, and families as bargaining chips in school voucher negotiations. Vouchers and public education funding should be 2 separate issues, not one. And finally, addressing public school funding now would enable districts like Katy to keep up with rising costs while continuing to raise the bar for student achievement, attract and retain high-quality educators, and provide safe learning environments and further bolster the economic engine of our community. I've said it before, and I want to take a moment to reiterate to our school community. If you believe in this school district and the outcomes and the learning experiences our kids get here, think about contacting our governor and your state elected officials and tell them what Katy ISD schools mean to you and for the sustainability of this community. I'll close by saying this. The A+ in this school district's name means something. Katy ISD is an A+ school district because of what our teachers and staff delivered to kids in our classrooms every day, how our district supports our educators, and most importantly, how special this community is. When you hear these narratives in the state legislature about how vouchers for private schools are needed to provide options for students in failing schools, that's not the narrative here in Katy ISD. You won't find a single school even close to that here. Katy ISD is the #1 school district in the greater Houston area and ranks 17th in the state, comprised of over 1,000 school districts as rated by the prestigious niche rankings. Our school system consistently earns an A rating from the Texas Education Agency. 8 Katy ISD high schools are among the top 17% of high schools in the United States. And that's according to the U.S. News and World Report, which ranked 25,000 public high schools across the country. The data was based on high schools that had a 12th grade enrollment during the 2020-2021 school year, and I'm going to bet that's the only reason you don't see Jordan High School up there right now. Katy ISD arts programs are also outstanding, as evidenced by our district's Best Communities for Music Education distinction that has been awarded by the National Association of Music Merchants for over 2 decades. And our teachers' and staff's commitment to personalized learning experiences is reflected in the individual student successes we see across the district. Last year, 179 graduating student athletes signed with the college or university of their choice, and 203 signed letters of intent to continue their pursuit of visual and performing arts at the collegiate level. And our high school campuses produced 77 National Merit Scholarship semifinalists, more than any other district in the Houston area. In 2023, out of the millions of students across the country who took advanced placement exams, only 2,100 earned a perfect score. 32 Katy ISD students were among this exemplary group, including a Seven Lakes High School student who is only one of 17 nationwide to have earned a perfect score on 2 AP exams. For those who may not be familiar with advanced placement studies, they are rigorous college-level coursework offered at our high schools for students who are ready to engage at that level. To earn a perfect score on any AP exam is simply extraordinary. Our district continues to be recognized as one of America's best in-state employers by Forbes. And time again, Katy ISD has been credited for excellence in financial integrity and transparency by the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas, with this year's recognition being awarded this very month. I think our namesakes, who exemplify the spirit of Katy ISD, sum up what we have here well. I want to take a moment to share a short video message from a few of them.
In Katy ISD, we know our lights shine brightest when they are connected.
As Katy ISD namesakes, we are proud to cast a spotlight on the connections that inspire excellence and turn learners into leaders.
We unite as a district-wide community to root for every team and campus to shine.
We care for each other, growing and leading together, cultivating personal and professional relationships that really stand the test of time.
Igniting inspiration in students that last generations. To see a former student sign, "Remember me," on the first day of school when introducing his own child, these are the moments that illuminate the enduring legacy that defines our great district.
Our students are developing as leaders in every grade level, from elementary safety patrols
to high school service organizations like Best Buddies, PALS, and Key Club.
Our students inspire us daily through their talent and their hard work. Their brilliance creates a halo of greatness that inspires all within its sphere, from peers to teachers to campus and district leaders.
Our leaders are learners too. Their commitment to excellence radiates across our campuses and classrooms.
Every connection.
Every achievement.
Every act of service.
Help us carry the torch to continue inspiring excellence
and turning learners into leaders.
Katy ISD schools provide a world of excellence, and it is truly a wonderful world we have built here together for our children, our families, and our community. I think that Jordan Choir deserves one more round of applause. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. It's a great example of what's happening in our Katy schools every day. And again, I thank you for your support of Katy ISD students, our teachers, our staff, and all of our families. Together, we will continue our mission to inspire excellence, shaping not just learners, but the leaders who will light the path for generations to come. Have a wonderful morning. Thank you.